Every once in a while, a show comes up in the morning that I get really, really excited. We have 4 stories today about used car mergers, GM forcing subscriptions, Gary Vaynerchuk and Cars, and blue-green bubble wars.
I go, the people really want to know.
Marty, breath.
He called it blue-green bubble wars.
Oh, we're going to save blue-green bubble wars for the end of this show because
Unbelievable.
you and I was like, I want first crack at this one. So I want first crack at this
bubble
story.
wars.
I want the first crack at this story. I could not include the 4th story today because we had to just talk about it because so many people can relate. And it's a hot, contentious topic, and the people need to be able to discuss this in an open forum.
People won't be fighting. It's up in arms.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. All these stories. I mean, all of the stories today. Well, actually, 2 of the 4 are potentially explosive. One is really cool, and one is just news.
Paul brought
show's
grenades
over.
this morning is really what he did. He was
I
like,
got a whole
"I'm gonna
extra
put
hour
a
of
couple of
sleep
these
last
guys
night
in the pockets when I come to work today."
Man, I got an extra hour of sleep last night because I was exhausted yesterday. I'm feeling good. A lot of things are moving forward right now. One of which is the fact that we sold out of industry partner tickets yesterday for ASOTU. We warned you it was coming for the last 2 months. And if you're a friend and family and you're in the industry partner side, we're so sorry. Somebody actually texted and was like, I had them in my cart this morning and I went to cash out and they're gone.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
And I already had flights booked.
I knew it was going to come, but I still have anxiety over it because like someone that I forgot to let know the thing was happening and hasn't seen it on social is going to text me in a week and be like, "I thought you loved me." Right?
Oh my goodness.
And
oh my
I
goodness.
do. I love all of you, but we got to have some dealers in there. So that's what it is.
We do. We're gonna have a lot of dealers there. Actually, we're the president of the Philadelphia Auto Dealer Association reached out to us yesterday and was like, I heard about this event from one person in one venue, and then I heard it from a totally different person, and I had to reach out to see what's going on. How can we support you? So, like the dealer body are into it. The second they hear about this, they're into it. So we're gonna pack this place out with dealers. We have a really good base. The sucker's filling up. We already know we have a critical mass that is going to be rowdy and is going to have a great time. And we were on calls yesterday with signage and audio and video and logistics. And if you're an industry partner and you're a friend and family, and if you're listening to this, we consider you that, we may have an idea on how you can still get there, but you're going to have to like text us to figure that out. Because
text us.
Paul drops
a couple of our.
Maybe there will be a black market for the dude. If we see these on Ticketmaster,
we see them on eBay for like $800, and we're like, they just got marked up. We're gonna be on markups.org or something.
The ultimate. No, we're not.
It's gonna be great. Hey, I want to give some love to cars.com again, our title sponsor for the event. Such a big deal that they threw in and said, hey, we're going to make sure that this thing gets put on, that we can bring speakers like Jim McKelvey and others to the event, Dave Meltzer. So that's a big deal for us. Also, we got to have a conversation with our VIP lounge collaborator yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Active Engage. And man, I'll just tell you, if you get the opportunity to be in the VIP lounge, it's going to be a next level experience. Also, just for the dealers watching, keep an eye out. If you've already purchased tickets, or if you kind of pay attention to our socials, you might get an opportunity to be in that VIP lounge. It's going to be limited to only 100 of our attendees up there. So just going to provide a special experience to a few of the guests, and they might have some hall passes that they can hand out.
So 100 out of 600. So it's not like half. It's just like, and we're talking about, some special food, some special drinks. There may or may not be 2 therapeutic masseuses up there. Get you a little back rub. Loosened up on the way for the rest of ASOTUCon. So that's going to be awesome. And Active Engage, man, they have just stepped up in thinking through, like, how can we make this really special and really conversational? And they also have the best TikTok account. I'm just going to say it. Best TikTok account amongst the automotive industry partners. You should check it out. All right. Let's talk about the news.
We have so
much. We do. Okay.
So much.
We're going to take an easy on-ramp, okay? So this one is news, And then we're just going to get more and more intense as the show goes on. So used car retailers Shift, West Coast primarily, and CarLotz with a Z announced a merger yesterday. This is from the press release, the destination for the best online and in-person used car purchasing experience, allowing the customer to seamlessly shop for the broadest assortment of used vehicle inventory and complete the transaction however they prefer. Okay, so these are two retailers, Shift primarily West Coast, primarily e-commerce, and CarLotz, mainly middle America, with a heavy brick and mortar presence. They really started focusing on consignment. They decided to merge. It's a stock for stock transaction, and they're going to trade on NASDAQ as now SFT. And there's a few things to say about this. Number one, I think, Kyle, we're just seeing the consolidation we're seeing on franchise dealers. Right. We're just seeing that creep into now the standalone used car model. Right. It's just a logical transition. And you're more familiar with Shift than I am.
Well, yeah. So Shift has been around for quite a few years, and many people in the country don't know about them because they started in California. They stayed very local there. They have a really good brand presence. They had, they were kind of an extremely early adopter in, a new website experience, a very dynamic merchandising experience, and they even had some unique value propositions on delivering vehicles or purchasing online. So they were a very, it actually is interesting to me that they didn't go and pursue a more national brand earlier, because they had a really strong brand in California. So this is definitely an effort to do that, just because of the way that CarLotz is available through the rest of the US. But I have to believe, and this was stated by the CEO, I have to believe that a majority of the reason for this type of purchase would be for inventory, right? Especially because CarLotz is more on the consignment side, understands the customer conversation, because it doesn't matter if you're CarMax, Carvana, Shift, a franchise retailer, inventory is the thing right now. And it will continue to be for the next 2 years. So it's like Carvana, Odessa, right? Acquiring assets for the purpose of getting more inventory is enough to see like a business outcome on the other side.
No doubt. So Shift's current president, Jeff Clements, will become the entire company's CEO, and does say actually just that. He says they see immense opportunity combining Shift's proprietary acquisition engine, right, with CarLotz's unique consignment model. So we're going to see these two come together. They did say that they have a cash position of $125 million, which isn't a whole lot of cash. Shift, however, is laying off 60% of their workforce in the transition. So, I think it was about, the show notes are a little off. It's actually about 600 plus people. So, a big change, a big consolidation, and we're just seeing that, the consolidation move into the standalone used car brands. Speaking of standalone used car brands,
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
I'm actually going off script on this one. I'm skipping. We're going to save the last two stories. I'm skipping. So Echo Park, Sonic Automotive's used car brand, has just announced that they retained Vayner Media as their agency of record. It's the first agency of record they've ever had. And, Vayner are my people. I've been in with them for so long, and I've been wanting so badly for Vayner Media. If you don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk's company, or GaryVee, we're going to call him GaryVee. So or just Gary. If friends call him Gary. His friends call him Gary. So I've been waiting for the better part of a decade in all of my interactions with Vayner and through the Mentors program for someone in automotive to realize that this is the approach they need to take to build their brand. And now it's happening. Former Mazda North America CEO Dino Bernacchi. Do you know Dino from your Mazda days?
I know of him, and I know what he did at Mazda to kind of shift the way the brand approached.
What did he do?
Consumer.
What did he do at Mazda? How would you summarize it?
For the last, I think 7 or 8 years, Mazda basically has not put out any tier 1 commercials with price or payment. All of their commercials are emotive based, are people based, and they actually really were one of the first OEMs to lean into the creator economy. And so even like all of their model launches have been built on creator collaborations on like Instagram and TikTok, and they will send these creators out prior to launch in like these massive explorations. They'll send them out into wilderness with the car.
Love it.
Photos and videos. And so he understands like the creator economy with brand build. Yep. And then if you recognize the commercials, like they just don't, you'll see it at tier 2 and tier 3 level, but on the tier 1 level, they do not talk price or payment. They talk brand. They do a lot of emotive type things. It's interesting because, pulling that to auto is very, even I know it's really funny because some of the operators at Mazda that I know actually were not a fan of some of the commercials because they were like, we got to talk about the features more. We got to talk about the, and so, I still think even consumers have a hard time kind of reaching to that at this point. So I am interested to see how like GaryVee, VaynerMedia recognizes what auto needs, but also can bridge the gap in that communication matrix, because it's a different animal.
It's such an easier play, I think, than most people realize, particularly because this is a used car brand. We don't have to talk about features, right? Like Dino's got actually a smoother runway on this than he had with Mazda because he's not working with the tier 1 OEM. He's actually working to it's tier 3, right? This is tier 3 marketing. Vayner's insanely great at direct-to-consumer marketing. They have clients like, Budweiser, right? Fortune 50 companies that Vayner works with. So their social media execution, we have a couple quotes. Vayner CEO Gary Vaynerchuk said the agency is going to handle creative strategy, analytics, with a focus on social media. Dino said the company really decided to shift gears and the trajectory of growth and start building more than just an infrastructure of locations when he started in October. So Echo Park has opened a lot of buying centers. Our good friend led the charge in opening not the buying centers, the delivery centers across the country. So they have infrastructure. And now Dino says it's time to, and I quote, actually build the brand. I like that. Actually build the brand. So I think it's an easier play because we're just talking about building an affinity and a feeling around the brand of Echo Park, which is no one really knows who it is, or some people do, but most new shoppers. So he doesn't have to talk about features. He's got to talk about feeling. And Vayner's just great at understanding the flow of culture, overlaying social media content that builds a brand. So I am so excited to see what somebody does with this.
Yeah, I would pay attention to it because I would imagine right now all of their USPs as Echo Park is essentially copy and paste from Carvana.
Yep.
And they have to get away from that if they want to be any sort of social media brand. They just can't be like, oh, you can finance it, pick it up. You can't.
Carvana should have hired Vayner. They missed their spot. They can't now.
Their spot.
Too late.
Too late. They do a pretty strong job. I'm not gonna lie.
I know they do. I know. I ain't throw it.
I'm proud of them. Anyway, I'm proud of them.
I just feel like Vayner's just gonna crush it for them just because we know so many people there. We should get Dino on and somebody from Vayner. We're gonna work on that and see if we can get them on to talk about it.
We can do that.
Brian Ortega just drops in the LinkedIn comments, competition. And that is case in point because Brian has been crushing knowing this truth that we're talking about right now for his stores for a long time. And the best part about this is, yes, Echo Park is hiring, an expensive top level agency to do it well for them. But every single dealer listening to this, every single agency can execute to this strategy today,
right?
Without the expensive agency. That's why I love it, because sometimes you just need someone to prove that it works. Right. Yeah, to show you that it works at scale.
I will argue that they can do it better because they can be more local and in tune with their local customer and in tune with the employees. Yes. Like we talked about the young man that's doing TikTok at a Nissan store south of Nashville.
Absolutely.
It's like
absolutely
that I don't know if even VaynerMedia can touch what that guy's able to do, because he can do it locally, on the fly, in time, every single day.
No, right? When you get a rock star that knows how to do it, you can be home field advantage wins in this game if you understand the game.
Oh, speaking about games,
I was going to say it. Oh man, great track. Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. You want to take this one?
I want to throw this one out.
You want to dive? Hold on. If you're on the live stream right now, This is the great time to like text your friends the link to this live stream. Be like, you want to get in here for these next 2 stories. And if you have little reaction buttons, if you're on LinkedIn, you can hit the like the hands, thumbs up, the hearts, the frowny, whatever it is. Like,
all right. So it has come out that GM is going to not just highly encourage, not just offer, but force Buick, GMC, and Escalade buyers to pay $1,500 for 3 years of OnStar at the point of sale. So that like immediate, hey, thanks for buying the car. You also got it's like,
dude, this was just waiting to blow up.
1983 with a tie on the press hard 3 copies, right? And it's like,
oh man.
So, but I know the 1,500. It's just you got to just go for it. It's
well, look, when you tell everybody that if you're picking up a little anxiety in our voices or angst, probably more that it's real, because thinking of this from a consumer's perspective, you're a public company that comes out and says, we're going to increase subscription revenue to around $20 to $25 billion by 2030. And you're like, great, what's the plan to do that? Let's just force people to subscribe for products that they weren't voluntarily subscribing for, which tells you they don't really want the product that much. And so forcing them to pay it on the MSRP, saying, we don't care if you use it, you're still paying for it. And it's not a cheap subscription either. It's like $50 a month. Like if you add up Netflix, Disney Plus, Fitbit, like add up your top like 6 subscriptions, and they probably come to $50, and they bring your life, I'm sure, a whole lot more value than OnStar.
But like OnStar is like 50% of it is managed by, if you just have Apple CarPlay, it's the same stinking stuff, right?
I don't know. I'm frustrated over this, and you can mark Automotive Troublemakers' words on this. This is going to be reneged very shortly, because the soon as people figure it out, and I also don't understand why it's just the Escalade. If you buy a Buick or a GMC, it's starting on June 2nd. Wait, that's already gone. Are they talking about next year? I'm confused now. But either way, maybe they already started this. I don't know. But if you buy a Buick or a GMC, it's included. You have to do it. And if you buy a Cadillac Escalade, it's included. But the other Cadillacs are apparently okay with this. Okay, so
ordered. So ones that are
ordered
so it already is in place. So these people probably haven't been delivered on these cars.
Gotcha. So it's too late to order it if you don't want to buy this. And I don't know why. There could have been a couple things. You could have increased the price of the vehicle and included it for free to ease into it.
I mean, Ford just jacked the prices on the Lightning.
Everybody's raising prices right now. But I assume they want to do that because now they're going to show that is like subscription revenue.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
But it's not voluntary subscription revenue. You're crushing with all the talk about consumer experience and don't do this and you can't resell the vehicle and making consumers sign contracts like to say you won't resell, you lose your warranty. This just seems so counterintuitive to what GM is trying to do or saying they're trying to do.
I want to know if the dealer council got this free, right?
No,
there's no way. If someone knows anyone on the GM dealer council,
I had GM dealers texting me today going, like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable.
Because my personal story, I'm over it. I'm so over it. My personal story with Kia, right? Auto start, I didn't realize was a subscription feature and not a feature of the vehicle. So what happened was this is my 4th Kia. And 12 months ran out and it was the winter in Syracuse and I couldn't start my car. And it's like, oh, by the way, you have to subscribe. And I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm upset. Right. And so I called the dealer and they're like, yeah, it's just the way it is now. Guess what? I never subscribed to it out of principle in Syracuse. And guess what? I'm about to get out of my 4th Kia and my next car is not a
Gonzo.
Kia. Not a Kia.
You know what? I will say there are manufacturers doing this right. I just bought a Mazda. 3 years, the whole thing, remote start, gas stuff, lock your vehicle. It's a part of the Mazda app. So we're not saying that all manufacturers, but like GM, get your eyes up. Let's go. I'm going to call it out. I'm just calling it out. It's unbelievable. And it is like, not just that, but the people that don't see it from the national news are going to have to get this news from the dealer. So watch how that just erodes trust at the dealer level as well.
This is wrong on so many levels. GM, we love you. We want you to win, which is why we're telling you the truth. Right?
Speaking of being wrong on so many levels,
we're telling you. Wait, say that again.
Speaking of being wrong on so many levels.
Segue
time. You ready for this?
Let him have it, Kyle.
Android users, you're wrong. No.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
I did it like that. I did them like
You
that.
just
All
proved the
right, so
point,
Google
Kyle.
has launched a marketing campaign, we'll call it, maybe not a shaming campaign, to pressure Apple to adopt a universal messaging format. To which all Apple users said, "Get out of here, you green bubble."
Okay, so now in a quote from an Android tweet, it says iMessage should not benefit. I don't know what Android sounds like. iMessage should not benefit from bullying. Texting should bring us together, and the solution exists. Let's fix this as one industry. So what it sounds like to me is someone spending money to shame a company by accusing them of bullying. Like, and they're basically, the premise is this.
Walk that down for people that are struggling with this.
So Google is saying, I'm going to pay money and launch a big campaign. That's what's the campaign? Get the message campaign. That is, trying to pressure openly. We're hoping this pressures Apple into adopting this text message feature so that there's no longer the blue bubbles and the green bubbles.
We got it. Let's bully the bully to stop the bullying.
Because we're right. We're going to be on the right side of history on this.
Okay.
Which happens to benefit us and tarnish their brand.
From a real technical perspective, I get it. And I do wish, because that's everybody's like worst nightmare, is being in a text thread with like 5 to 10 family members or friends that is all blue bubbles, and then someone invites the green bubble Android into it, and then something gets said and you can't get out, and that is just the worst possible scenario ever.
Yep.
So I do think that like this probably should happen at some point, right?
There are so many practical implications, and honestly, I've never had the experience of a green bubble person, which does probably sting every time you're like, I don't know. Do they even know there's a blue bubble, or it's just all green bubbles for them?
It's all green bubbles. Well,
so they
I don't
even
know what the bubble is. I think it's just like, regular bubbles. There's definitely, this is a lesson in
this is a lesson in this
sure.
is actually a lesson in brand building.
It is
Apple,
a lesson in brand build.
GM, lean in. Apple built something that was so desirable that other people have to really beg them to change it, right? The blue bubble is just something that iMessage did because they were the first one to make a platform that just sends files easily, works together easily, right? It works across all your devices. And they're just saying like, hey, if you adopt us, we're going to have superior technology and superior protocols that allow your experience to be super robust. And everyone else is catching up and is like, hey, wait, we're finally there. And they're like, hey, Apple, like, change your thing. But Apple's like, actually, right? Yeah, it's like, why you're asking a brand to give away some exclusivity, right? And claim to exclusivity, which is really honestly what brand is built on. So I don't see Apple changing their mind. I think they'll probably find some way to make it a little easier. But I don't see the crew at Apple saying like, okay, you put a couple billboards up.
We'll give up our community and this really fun thing that we get to talk about.
We feel really pressured by all the Android users. By the way, right? I mean, like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things, but it's a fun part of pop culture. And we love all of our green bubble fans. You're just going to get less group text from us because it's difficult.
There it is.
or you could just get an iPhone. Or you could just get an iPhone.
Everyone's like, WhatsApp.
Right, exactly. Then there was WhatsApp. So we love you so much in the community, whether you're in GM. Again, we love you. We're just telling you have something in your teeth and you need to get it out. Hey, if you're still a dealer, come to a SodaCon, get your tickets at SodaCon.com. We got a lot more coming for you this week.